Charizard is a Pokemon we haven't seen too much in Gen 9. After all, Gen 8 and Gen 7 and 6, it was a really powerful beast with Mega Evolutions and access to a really strong G-Max form in the Dynamax format. However, this Charizard team did really well in the Global Challenge and allowed the player to qualify for the next stage of the Japan Nationals qualifier. We're going to be trying out the team and seeing how well it can perform. We have a crazy Charizard Fezzidipity team that hit 177th in the Global Challenge final standings with a 1748 rating. We have a very interesting tools here with the Solar Power Charizard, of course, for the Sun, really strong attacks, with the Torkoal, with the Drought, this one being a support set, with Heat Wave, Earth Power, and Clear Smog to help out against Dondozo, helping hand support to help power up this Charizard, which lacks a little bit of damage output compared to the previous Charizards we've seen, mainly because this one's running the Covert Cloak, really good against stuff like Rillaboom and Incineroar, and can help out against Icy Wind stuff, especially like Icy Wind Flutter Mane, especially paired next to Urshifu, because not taking that speed drop and being able to outspeed can be really crucial. This Charizard set running Terra Ground to help out because Raging Bolt Thunderclap is a thing you have to worry about, and this Terra Ground set allows it to boost up the power of Scorching Sands as well. Running Heat Wave and Weather Ball. Weather Ball just being a stronger, accurate fire type move if you don't want to click Heat Wave, does get that power in the Sun and just make it a stronger option than Flamethrower in the Sun. Paired up with this rest of the team, we have things like the Urshifu and the Raging Bolt. This Urshifu is a dark Urshifu with Choice Scarf that might catch players off guard and be able to Iron Head like the Flutter Mane. This one running Terra Steel to help out too, and U-Turn to help support because you could lead something like Charizard plus Urshifu, go for a U-Turn, get a fast U-Turn into Torkoal, get the Sun Boost, and then fire off a really strong Solar Power attack. We also have this Raging Bolt set, this Photosynthesis Assault set that's able to take advantage of the Sun and dish out quite a bit of damage with the Thunderclap and the Dragon Pulse. And this one running Snarl to help out against like opposing Trick Room, as well as a Volt Switch to help keep up the momentum. So Torkoal being able to pivot around is very solid. So you can pretty much just always get into the Sun mode safely, potentially. The rest of the mods, we have Fezzidipity, which is a Pokemon I've been thinking about actually for quite a bit, mainly because it's really good into the Dark Urshifu plus Flutter Mane combination that has been taking quite a storm in Regulation F. Being able to resist fair type attacks, having a high special defense so you're able to take other attacks from Flutter Mane, as well as being able to resist all of Dark Urshifu's moves. It's actually pretty impressive. But this one running a really crazy set. This one's running Tailwind support with Roost, Toxic, and its only move that can hit opponents is Icy Wind. This one really just for speed control, helping out the Charizard a bit with that Tailwind and Icy Wind support, and Toxic to break through really defensive things that might be able to stall out the Charizard, things like Porygon 2 for instance. Finally, the last Pokemon to help out against Dondozo and just having a good fairy type in general, the Liquid Voice Throat Spray Primarina, which is able to do a bit of damage after the Hyper Voice and the Moonblast, but also just having that Haze specifically to help out against Dondozo. You can never have like enough Dondozo counters, so just being able to help out with setup strategies there. And that rounds up the team. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. Victory Bell, Tornadus, Flutter Mane, Chi-Yu, Landorus Incarnate, and Farigiraf. This is a very, very powerful Sun team. Lando's actually pretty scary because my best answers to Flutter Mane, I don't really like Lando. This is going to be a tricky one for sure. I want to say I do like... Lando's going to be so tough. And I mean so tough. The combo of Lando Flutter is actually not easy to deal with Chi-Yu. The Chi-Yu... because the special attack from Chi-Yu is going to make this really difficult. Or the fact that the special attacks are going to do more damage is going to be really difficult. I think I'm going to go with Raging Bull plus Fezzidipity. We're going to try it out. And then in the back, Charizard Torkoal. Because I need to overwhelm. And I need really strong damage output. The only problem is, like, I can't knock out the Lando super efficiently. Maybe Heat Wave in the Sun could. But the problem with getting that position is Lando is faster than Charizard, and I'm kind of worried about Terra Poison Sludge Bomb would be able to knock out under Beats of Ruin. So we have quite an uphill battle. We have a quite uphill battle. And they also have speed with the victory bell. Granted, they can't bring all the threats in one game. I think Torn it has to be like broad in order for it to be like really threatening to my team, because I'm really worried about Torn. If this is Sansa's Stormland, though, like this is really bad. We'll see. Gonna be Torn Flutter. Okay, that is perfectly fine. I'll take that. We will lead our Raging Bolt and our Serendipity. My play is to Volt Switch to Torn, because if they don't have Protect, this is a safe Tailwind plus Volt Switch if we trade Tailwinds. I do like that a lot. Sunny Day Moonblast could be a thing. I am a little bit scared about that. They do have to commit to Terra, but we'll see. Because that's not going to be good for me. I'll say that much. But not really much that I can do other than, do I really want to Terra the Raging Bolt? And we see a Terra immediately, so I'm not too sure if my play is going to be... Oh, wait, they Terra the Torn, actually. Terra Steel. I'll take that. They're weak to my fire type attacks. All right. That's an interesting Terra. A Moonblast immediately and a Raging Bolt. Okay. Special attack drops a little bit annoying, but it should be okay. They go for an Icy Wind. All right. I'm okay with Icy Wind because I also have Icy Wind on my Serendipity, and my Charizard actually has Covert Cloak, which is actually a pretty big deal. Volt switch into the Torn. We go on a Charizard. So I think my idea here is I want to go for an Icy Wind and a Heat Wave. Just a raw Heat Wave should be okay. Because I don't know if the Fluttermane's going to switch out or not, or just go straight for the Moonblast, because it is against two Pokemon that do resist a Moonblast, so I don't really know too much. But I am just going to fire off an Icy Wind for speed control. I am going to go for the Heat Wave. I can knock out the Torn. They're going to get Tailwind up for one extra turn, which is not ideal, but I still think it's like acceptable. And then we'll see how the rest of the game plays out from there. They are going to retrieve Fluttermane, which is nice. So whatever's coming in catches an Icy Wind, which is really good. Chiyu, that's actually pretty excellent for me because now my Charizard outspeeds to Chiyu. That's good. Tailwind going to come out. Icy Wind. Please land on the Chiyu. It's the only target you have to hit. We knock out the Torn, so they no longer have a Tailwind option. And this Icy Wind is going to be really effective. So they don't have Terra anymore, so they can't... I don't think Sludge Bomb knocks out Charizard without the Beads of Ruin, if I'm not mistaken. Icy Wind. If we get a Poison, that'd be nice on the Chiyu. Okay, speed drop. Nice. Okay. Pretty big damage. That's going to rack up over time, which is always really nice. That could put in range of Thunderclap in the future. If I don't know if I'm sacking Serendipity the upcoming turn. It depends on who comes out. Like if Flutter comes out, I'm just going to probably just Icy Wind and Protect probably. Yeah, that seems pretty solid. Lando going to come in, which makes sense too. Okay. Is this not just a Heat Wave? I feel like this would just be a Heat Wave going to Torkoal. Or I feel like Heat Wave should knock out Lando. I really feel like it should. Oh, with the Beats of Ruin, yeah, 100% actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, I'm going Torkoal. I'm going Torkoal and click a Heat Wave. Unless this Lando Eye is carrying a rock move, which none of the Landos I have seen do. We should be able to get a KO on Lando, and then I think Serendipity could win the end game. Especially with that poison on the Chiyu. The Chiyu's on a timer, and we'll find out we might find out the item. We have no idea if it's confirmed. Like, I think Fluttermane specs. I have no idea what the Chiyu item will be. We go for a Sludge Bomb and a Charizard. We do survive. We do land a Heat Wave. Excellent. And that is a knockout into the Lando. And we also got... Well, critical hit I don't think matters because Beats of Ruin, Sun, Solar Power just picks the knockout. And we got a huge amount of damage in a Chiyu. And it's going to fire off a Heat Wave in response. Okay, perfect. All right. That poison also adding up very, very nicely. I think Raging Bolt's always a play. So the end game's not 100% secure because I still have no idea what the Chi is going to do. I think the Chi goes down to poison the next turn. I'm still going to thunderclap it anyway because I still think it's the best idea. What booster are you? Speed. Okay, that's way better than special attack. I'll say that much. We are able to get our special attack booster on the Raging Bolt. So we're going to go for Thunderclap into the Chi just to be safe because Chi is really the big threat here, and we're going to fire off a Heat Wave. Yeah. I'm going to be forfeited. All right. Excellent. Because Pheasantipity, I think, stalls out, which I think is a big one. If they Shadow Ball, I had Terra Dark on the Pheasantipity, so if it specs, which I'm pretty sure the Moonblast damage was, we could Terra into the Dark typing to resist the Shadow Balls, and then we should win by being able to Toxic Stall unless we miss a bunch of Toxics or get really lucky with special defense drops and crits. So very, very nice. Was able to get a decent position, catching their switch with the Icy Wind. Heat Wave was really big. The damage wise was really solid. Charizard able to live one hit and then KO the Landers thanks to Sun, Solar Power, and beat the Ruin. Wheezing Regigigas with Incineroar, Wellspring, Ogerpon, Rillaboom, and Fluttermane. Okay, this is not going to be easy because they do have a Regigigas, which don't have the best answers to. I don't. I do have a Urshifu and I do have a Torkoal that can take a lot of advantage of powerful attacks. I probably want to go into those. I don't know if you're leading Incineroar Wheezing or if you're leading Regigigas Wheezing, which is my only concern. I feel like these two are like really good leads if they lead Wheezing Regigigas. If they lead Incineroar, a little bit strange, but I think it should be manageable. I think my back should probably be... Do I want Pheasantipity in this match at all? Good against the grass types, but so is Raging Bolt. And I think Charizard's really strong as the last. Because if I'm able to get the Sun up, Heat Wave is just going to be a huge amount of damage. I also like Raging Bolt more because it's a better switch to Wellspring, Ogerpon. Let's find out. Let's see what they can do. The only thing is Pheasantipity could have been more useful for is switching into a Fluttermane, which we'll see. Regigigas Wheezing. Okay, so I am right on here. Are you going to protect with Regigigas? I would protect the Scout and I would probably just burn the... I would burn the Urshifu if I was them. I'm going to U-turn out the Wheezing, I think, and I'm going to go for an Earth Power into the Wheezing. I really think this should be Protect from the Gigas. Yeah, perfect. Because I really feel like that this should be Wisp. Okay, awesome. And I can't U-turn in the Regigigas Protect because Neutralizing Gas is active on the field, negating my ability. So that's why I had to go for this sequencing. Let me double check. My Charizard is timid, right? Yeah, it is. The next turns I'm not exactly super happy about, but I do think this is a pretty strong start. Bring out the Charizard. Wisp does come out. Yep, into the Charizard. Excellent. And a Heat Wave Earth Power going to come out into the Wheezing. Not that much damage. That's a pretty bulky Wheezing. Is that a Soul Fest? I guess I just don't have any special attack on this Torkoal, but still. Like, I thought that would have done more. An interesting spot, I suppose. I could switch out the Torkoal to get the Wheezing. I could get the Urshifu back in. I think it's probably better just fire off a Heat Wave and get some chip on the Regigigas and scout for what they're going to do. We're going to see a Terra come out from my opponent. All right. Gonna be the Wheezing. All right, perfect. So it's not the Regigigas. It's gonna be Terra Flying, so they're trying to avoid the Earth Power. Is this Wheezing just... I feel like it might be a Soul Fest. I don't know. That Earth Power did nothing. We protect Charizard. Body Slam and a Torkoal. Okay. That did so much damage. Really don't like that para. Really don't like that para. Life Orb on the Regigigas is natural. Sludge Bomb double up, but I should survive. Yep. Get my berry back. All right. Heat wave does connect. That's tough. Okay, so I get a burn on the wheezing. I don't think that's super relevant. Okay, maybe it is because they're actually berry. They just took it really well then. All right. I think I want to go for a helping hand heat wave and just get the damage. Yeah, I think that's worth it. I'm gonna go for helping hand heat wave because I would knock out the wheezing, and if I do win a speed tie, that's really huge. Let's see if they're even jolly, which I feel like they should be jolly. Wheezing protects, that's fine. Also want to find out the heat wave. Next with the Gigas, which is good. These Pokemon are weakened. You go for a knockoff. Okay, so to get rid of my Covert Cloak. Surprised I didn't go for the Body Slam. That really works out for me because I'm pretty sure that I can go for a helping hand heat wave and knock out both. Granted, it could be a speed tie. I could protect, or I could go aggressive. How aggressive do I want to play? I'd probably want to play super aggressive. I kind of want to go for the helping hand heat wave. I'm gonna go for it. I do get paralyzed. All right, win the speed tie to ensure. Well, unfortunate. I got the worst world. Charizard goes down. Granted, it's not an over game, but that is really annoying. Sludge Bomb. I want to go on a Raging Bolt. Yeah, I'm going to Raging Bolt. The reason I'm going to go on a Raging Bolt trying to figure out how I make sure I win this end game. I think I have a good spot. I just got to make sure I'm careful. I think the Regigigas should attack because I don't think you want me knocking out the wheezing on any circumstance. I'm going to just go for a Thunderclap, and I'm just going to go for a... I really want my Torkoal to go down if they click Sludge Bomb. I actually do because I don't want the Sun Up because they could power up their Flutter Mane. So I get rid of their Gigas before I can attack my Bolt. Like, that's the Pokemon I'm more fearful of. Unless they Wisp predicting the Urshifu switch. But yeah, they Sludge Bomb, which is fair. I really don't mind that because I really like that the Torkoal goes down here. Yeah. It should be a really slow wheezing if it's Citrus Berry and it took the attacks well. We're gonna see the Ogre Pond come in. All right. Bring out the Urshifu. I'm gonna go for a Volt Switch into the Wheezing and a Wicked Blow into the Ogre Pond. Yeah. Follow Me gonna come out, so they're training for burn, which is pretty reasonable. I don't mind that. So I get a huge Wicked Blow and an Ogre Pond. I think Volt Switch picks up the knockout. If not, it's still okay. Yeah, I do knock out the Ogre Pond. Okay, last Pokemon. Weezing gonna go for Wisp into the Urshifu. Okay, awesome. I do not mind that. I do not mind that at all. This should be Flutter Mane as the last. Could be Specs. Trying to figure out if my best win con is tearing the... I think it's tearing the Bolt. I think it is. I'm gonna Volt Switch the Wheezing again, and I'm gonna Wicked Blow. I could also Terra Steel the Urshifu, but I feel like I'm taking too much damage from Dazzling Gleam. Because Wicked Blow should do a decent amount to Flutter Mane. I still think this should do like 40%, maybe 50%. All right, let's see. Because Sludge Bomb is gonna be super effective against my Bolts. The Flutter Mane damage is gonna build up. But actually, isn't Weezing really likely to protect this turn? I don't know if it is. It's either going to protect or they're going to attack. It looks like they went on the attack. Okay. Wicked Blow still does a lot. Perfect. You go for Dazzling Gleam. Excellent. Urshifu goes down. I'm able to get the Volt Switch off into the Weezing, pick up the knockout, and then afterward, I'm pretty sure Volt Switch into Thunderclap into the Flare Main always wins afterward. Okay. A little bit of a puzzle there. A little bit of a puzzle. But yeah, luckily they didn't body slam the Charizard. I wonder if they expected me to go out in Urshifu and wanted to get rid of the what's it called? The Choice Scarf, so that they outsped the next turn. But yeah, this worked out beautifully. I can Volt Switch and then I can Thunderclap. They're gonna go for Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, the problem is that the Weezing got multiple protects. Like if it protected that turn and then it protects the next turn, I think I still get like, as long as they don't get double protect, I think I win. But it could have been dicey. But there was a chance that I felt like Weezing could logistically attack there, because if I double up the Flutter Mane and I'm able to somehow knock it out, it would have been pretty bad for them. So I wasn't 100% certain on that, but I'm glad I kind of trusted my instinct there. Able to win the game, and I think it kind of gave me the best odds, but otherwise it would have been a read. So even though Regigigas was a pretty big threat, I was able to do some pretty decent damage to them overall. Wellspring, Ogerpon, Raging Bolt, Urshifu, Xianpao, Fluttermane, and Rillaboom. I'm actually kind of curious. I feel like it's probably Water Urshifu, because Dark Urshifu, they have a Xianpao, which is kind of very similar, but it's kind of weird because normally the team looks pretty standard if it wasn't for the POW with Urshifu and Wellspring, because it feels like they're double lapping on rolls. So I'd probably assume Water, because I think double lapping Water would make more sense than double lapping Dark in this case. Granted, I wonder what the items will be. I feel like Water Scarf or Urshifu would make sense. Keep the sash on Xianpao, but who knows? I do think that Primarina is actually not that bad here. I do actually like Pheasantipede quite a bit. I think Raging Bolt's pretty solid. Pheasantipede is pretty good. Primarina is also pretty solid. I don't know. Torkoal is actually pretty good because we can negate quite a bit of damage. The only problem is I can't really eliminate Raging Bolt that quickly. I think that's like my big issue. I think I'm going to try out the Pheasantipede plus the Raging Bolt lead. I think it's pretty strong overall against their team other than into Fluttermane, but I will bring the Charizard and the Torkoal in the back, as Torkoal's a good switch into Fluttermane, especially this bulky one. And the ability to reduce their damage output with water type moves, like Torkoal is actually pretty good against their team if you look at it. It just has to watch out for the Raging Bolt and the Fluttermane. They're special attackers, but we do resist Fairy, which is one positive. Pheasantipede is pretty solid, where I think if we can get a Toxic off in the Raging Bolts, like that Pokemon's probably the most troubling to damage. If I can get a Toxic off, that would be huge. We're gonna see a Fluttermane Ogerpon lead, all right, versus my Raging Bolt and Pheasantipede. Booster energy on the Fluttermane. Are you speed or special attack? Speed. Okay, so it's a lot less offensively not threatening. Okay, so I could Snarl. Icy Wind. Tailwind is also pretty strong in general. I'd probably want to reduce the damage that I take, though. I think the turn I want to start off with is a Icy Wind into these Pokemon. I think I want to go in a Torkoal because we saw speed booster, so I'm not really too concerned about it. And I would really like to reduce the Ivy Cudgel damage that Pheasantipede takes. We're going to see the Ogerpon actually retreat immediately, which is not in my cards of expectation. Raging Bolt going to come out themselves. All right, so I power up the Raging Bolt by mistake. We'll find out how the rest goes, because I was not expecting Raging Bolt. Maybe they expected my Torkoal double. All right, we bring out the Torkoal. I'd imagine this is Fairy move or Protect from the Fluttermane, though. Let's see. Activate the Photosynthesis. Gonna give them special attack. They do Protect. Okay, so pretty slow passive turn one. That works out pretty well for me. I am able to get an Icy Wind off into the Raging Bolt to get some chip damage into it. So that's pretty... Well, it looks like I missed. Can't have an easy game, can I? I think I still want to get an Icy Wind off. And the question is, what am I doing with you? Probably go back into Raging Bolt realistically. They're not gonna Moonblast. They could. I do think I want to go back into Raging Bolt though. because Torkoal's just not doing too much. Sure, I could chip with Earth Power, but I don't think that's enough, and I want to make sure I have the Sun turns, because if I'm stalling turns with where I'm not doing any damage and I take a lot, Torkoal is in danger, and I really want the Torkoal in the later turns. So they have Shadow Ball on this Flutter Mane, okay. I cannot catch a break this game. All right, Icy Wind into both. I do get some chip. Let's see if I can get a Toxic Chain. With my luck in this game, it doesn't seem like it. Nope. Electro Web. All right. And the crit on top. Yeah. So I don't know what kind of Flutter Mane this is. That's a good question too. I really just want to lower the speeds of these Pokemon. So I'm just going to keep spamming Icy Wind, I think. That special defense drop is so bad because I go down to probably a Dragon Pulse. Am I forced to Terra here? Do I have to Terra? I feel like I have to, which is really unfortunate, but I think I do. I think I Terra, and I'm going to go for a Volt Switch into the Flutter Mane. Yeah. Because I do need to chip the Flutter Mane anyway. Let's see what they decide to go for. As we will... Wait, is that their Raging Bolt or is that my Raging Bolt? I can't tell the difference between. I think that's their Raging Bolt. So they Terra Fairy, which is fine. Okay, we both Terra Fairy in this case. That's acceptable. Which means they no longer resist Heat Wave, but since I had to use my Terra, because I couldn't live Dragon Pulse plus Icy Wind or Moonblast like I had to, so we'll both Terra here. Let's see if they make a crazy read in Electro Web or just Dragon move. Yeah, they do go for an Icy Wind, which I'm not too surprised about. Okay. Perfect. And, ooh, they Thunderbolt Pheasantipity. Okay, we do hang on, but that's really not good. I do get another Icy Wind off into both. I finally get a Toxic Chain off into the Raging Bolt, but yeah, this is not looking too good. A Volt Switch gonna come out into the Flutter Mane. Ooh, okay, finally some RNG. Finally some decent RNG for us. We are able to get a crit, which could help out. Question mark? I really want to go Charizard. And the only reason I'm going Charizard is because I think I could see a situation because they're -2. I can roost up with Pheasantipity, I think, with like the proper sequencing. Because they're going to Shadow Ball this upcoming turn. The Raging Bolt is probably just going to do an attack. Okay, I'm going to go out in the Raging Bolt and I'm going to protect Charizard. The only problem is I am taking solar power damage on the Charizard, which is not great, unfortunately, for us. But I do think that this is a necessary process. Because they're Icy Wind a bunch with both Pokemon, they're slower than my Charizard. So they have to respect my Charizard. Wait, hold on. They're Thunderbolt, Electro Web. I guess we didn't see Snarl, so this could be triple electric move. I'm pretty sure you should have Thunderclap. Like, I feel like you should always have Thunderclap. Protect Charizard. I want to scout for Thunderclap. Are you Thunderclap? Yep, Thunderclap and Zard. Perfect. There's probably Shadow Ball coming out into the Raging Bolt. Yep, perfect. So they didn't want to risk Icy Wind miss or Icy Wind not KOing. Excellent. Raging Bolt able to take it. And taking solar power damage, but right now we are kind of building up a bit of momentum. How crazy do I want to attack here? I kinda, because I feel like the Zard switch might be a bit obvious. They're -2 speed. Last turn of Sun. If I get a Heat Wave off, they're in a huge amount of trouble. I could go Pheasantipity, but I have no idea if they like make a crazy play or not. I really want a Thunderclap. You know what? I'll Volt Switch the Raging Bolt and I will Heat Wave. I think this is an okay mid-ground. It's not ideal, but they did Thunderclap. All right. I was thinking like, okay, I could switch to Pheasantipity and I could KO the Flutter Mane with Thunderclap, but I was wondering if that was even worth it. Because I think this is still okay in the long term. Icy Wind, sure. They get a speed drop into my Raging Bolt, but I'm able to get a Volt Switch, which is actually powerful in a Raging Bolt. This toxic damage is adding up. I could get Pheasantipity Health B, which I think is actually really valuable. So I'll bring out Pheasantipity, and I'm gonna go for Thunderclap into Flutter Mane, and I'm gonna Roost since I do have Roost and heal back some of the HP that I've been taking. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go out in a Raging Bolt. I'm gonna click Roost, and I'm gonna click Thunderclap into Flutter Mane. I'm gonna Roost up with the Pheasantipity, and I'm gonna go for a Thunderclap into the Flutter Mane. Let's see if they switch out a Protect. No switch outs. Thunderclap into Flutter Mane. It'd be really, really ideal if they went for a Thunderclap into the Pheasantipity, but I think this should always be like Electro Web. We do get the Roost off with our Pheasantipity, so we are able to heal. I could have went for Tailwind, but I don't know if Tailwind is necessary. They go for a Thunderbolt, which is fine, because Raging Bolt's able to tank it. Nice. And now we don't have any speed drop, which is also really solid. And I could set up for a potential end game with Icy Wind and Bolt control. So this is actually looking pretty decent. From how terrible it's been for like a lot of the game, I do think that we actually now have a shot. Let's see who their last is, because we know it's Wellspring Ogerpon, but we don't know what the last is. Gonna be Chien-Pao. Okay. So one Icy Wind is really valuable. Actually, do I need to Tailwind? It might be Tailwind. Or are they gonna... this is kind of weird. I don't know if they're doubling up the Pheasantipity this turn. Or because I could go to Torkoal for one of the slots, which I think is really ideal. I think I want a Tailwind. I want a Tailwind. I do want a Tailwind, right? Actually, I don't think they're going to double with Ivy Cudgel. I think I'm going to Icy Wind, and I'm going to Thunderclap the Ogerpon, because I need damage into Ogerpon. They have Ice Shard? Oh, no. I didn't think they would Ivy Cudgel the Pheasantipity. I thought they were going to go for an Ivy cut. Oh. This game got really, really something. This endgame is definitely going to be something. Ah, but if I made the Torkoal play, I actually won. I think, because I would have been able to reset. I had a full health Pheasantipity. I got Torkoal in on an Ice Shard. And all right, we Roost here. We're going to go for a Heat Wave. Get the chip. They're going to protect Chien-Pao. They're going for a probably Ivy Cudgel into the Torkoal. How much does this do under the sun? It's not a KO, but 2 attacks will, unless they proc the berry. I don't think I could time this properly to where Pheasantipity's Encore is over. Heat Wave. Good damage. Ooh! Okay. Payback for the early parts. Payback for the early parts. All right. Really, really good. Fantastic burn. Fantastic burn, Torkoal. Heat Wave into the Chien-Pao and the Ogerpon. Sacred Sword. Procs Berry, right? Okay. If that didn't proc Berry, I would have been pretty upset. But I was like, okay, I probably lived to Ivy Cudgel anyway. So, but the fact that I'm able to take one more attack is actually really crucial. Okay. Heat Wave, break the Sash. I need to hit the Chien-Pao. If I hit the Chien-Pao, I feel like I'm in a really good spot. Okay, my Encore ends. Trying to think of how I can even win this end game. Okay, I'm gonna Icy Wind and I'm gonna Heat Wave. The Chien-Pao can't knock me out in one shot, I think. Ah, Sucker could maybe. Oh no, I think I have to risk it anyway. I was like, okay, the Chien-Pao gets put in range. Oh wait, Icicle Crash? Okay. And Ivy Cudgel. Okay. Wait, Torkoal survived that. That's huge. I flinch with Pheasantipity. I hit the heat wave. What has this been the end game? Wait, it's not Sash Xianpao? This game has been a roller coaster. I'm just gonna say this game has been an entire roller coaster. I don't even know what's been going on. I'm actually impressed by how well Pheasantipity took the Icicle Crash, first of all. But the end game was, okay, Ogerpon can choose to Encore me again, or Ivy Cudgel the Torkoal. I felt like Sucker Punch might knock out the Torkoal, but they don't know I don't have Protect, so there's a few different layers of mind games there. I don't even know what to say about that. If I hit the Heat Wave, I knocked out. If I didn't get the burn, here's the thing though. If I didn't get the burn, I'm pretty sure they would still went for the Sacred Sword Ivy Cudgel play into the Torkoal. And as long as I hit the Heat Wave on the, what's it called? The Xianpao, I think I was fine for the game because it wasn't Sash. If it was Sash Xianpao, the game changes. But the fact that it wasn't Sash, I'm pretty sure even with all that, but then again, there's too much RNG in this game. I'll just say that much. Wellspring, Ogerpon, Fluttermane, Xianpao, Dragonite, Raging Bolt, Entei. I don't think this team has a matchup against this 6. I really don't. Mainly because I think Choice Banded Dragonite, like this is a team that won the Portland Regional Championship like really early. We don't see it anymore. I don't really think this team does well against it. Mainly because, yeah, I do not think this team does well against it. Mainly because it's really hard to break through Dragonite, Terra Normal Dragonite E-Speed. Not really any switches. Entei is probably already problematic. I can't really damage it, especially with Assault Vest. And Raging Bolt's also no problem. I think I lead our Shifu Raging Bolt against this. Have Charizard and Torkoal in the back because I think this is the only way. Like Torkoal is needed to beat the Xianpao. I also need the Sun. Raging Bolt helps out against Ogerpon if it's brought. And it can take a hit. Pheasantipity just does not do anything in this matchup because it can only go for Icy Wind. It doesn't really affect the game. Tailwind doesn't really matter because of E-Speed, Pressure, and Thunderclaps. Xianpao, Entei will lead. Okay, interesting. I lead Raging Bolt and the Urshifu. I wonder if they would expect this trick where I U-turn to Xianpao and Thunderclap to Xianpao immediately, because they're not going to protect. Maybe they switch. But I kind of want to go for a U-turn and Thunderclap. Did they really protect against an Urshifu? Okay. I went for the Thunderclap attempt into the Xianpao. I get a U-turn off into the Xianpao, so its Sash is broken. All right. That worked out okay-ish. This is probably Sacred Fire or Stomping Tantrum. If it's Stomping Tantrum into the Raging Bolt, I can't stop it, so I go into Torkoal always. Okay. This also gives me Photosynthesis. What's coming out here gonna be Stomping Tantrum. All right, so the damage is gonna be pretty massive. Yeah. All right, I might live Sucker Punch though. I'm gonna Earth Power the Entei and actually I'm gonna Heat Wave. Actually, I'm gonna Heat Wave to Xianpao and I'm gonna Volt Switch, because if they switch out to Xianpao, that means they don't have to Sword of Ruin anymore, so I should live a Stomping Tantrum. If they stay in, Heat Wave KOs, unless they get Double Protect and go for it, which is fine. And I'm going to Volt Switch the Entei because I need damage in the Entei. You go for Sucker Punch to avoid Thunderclap, which makes sense. I'm okay with that. They went for Stomping Tantrum into the Torkoal. Okay, this is actually the best case scenario, I think, assuming I hit the Heat Wave. Volt Switch into the Entei, and we get to bring out our Shifu. And Urshifu puts on a lot of offensive pressure here, so I'm very happy about this. I don't know if the Entei is in range of Wicked Blow at close combat. That's going to be a bit tough to determine. I think I'd be going down to close combat. I think Wicked Blow might barely miss the knockout. Entei is a pretty bulky mon. Let's see who's coming out here. If it's Dragonite, I might just read the Terra. Normal and close combat, the Dragonite slot. It's Ogerpon though. Okay. Storm and Tantrum only did that much because they had Sword of Ruin available. So they're not really doing that much damage. I think my best play is just to Heat Wave and go for a... Do I want to Wicked Blow? I kind of want a U-turn. I guess I could Wicked Blow to Entei because the Ogerpon's not doing that much damage, and I get rid of Entei. Unless this if Entei survives. I guess I could Helping Hand. Actually, I could Helping Hand Wicked Blow. What am I doing? Yeah. Helping Hand Wicked Blow would definitely KO. Yeah, that's definitely the play. When I see a Terra, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Terra Ogerpon, but if they're Terroring Ogerpon, they can't Terra Dragonite anymore. Okay. So they do Terra to Ogerpon. Excellent. I am able to KO the Entei with the Helping Hand Wicked Blow. This could be Extreme Speed and like Hornleech. That's not KOing. I am a bit worried about Dragonite endgame, I suppose. If that is the case. Ooh, that would not be fun. Okay, they don't have Extreme Speed though, so I did get the Wicked Blow KO into the Entei. Nice. Entei goes down. Let's see what their choice is on the Ogerpon. Gonna be Ivy Cudgel. Are they going for the Torkoal? Oh, they target Urshifu and Sun. All right. I think Hornleech is a little bit more powerful. I could be wrong though. We're gonna see the Raging Bolt. Okay, this is why I saved Charizard Terra specifically. Actually, even though I did all I can, I don't know how I'm breaking through this endgame. I need the Terra for Charizard, I think. I think I Clear Smog the Ogerpon and I swap to Raging Bolt. Because this should be Thunderclap, I think, from the Raging Bolt into Urshifu and Ivy Cudgel into the Torkoal. Let's get our Photosynthesis. Get our special attack boost. They do go for the Thunderclap, yep. And the Ogerpon, they Hornleech double up. Okay, that's fair too. I actually don't mind that. So I get to Clear Smog into the Wellspring Ogerpon, which means the special defense is neutral. Now it's the last turn of Sun. This is where it gets dangerous. I go Charizard. I think I see my line. It's really scary though. So I'm going out into Urshifu and I'm going to go for the Terra Scorching Sand and hope that knocks out the Raging Bolt at this range. I could see them double protecting this all out the last turn of Sun, and that's why I'm trying to get a free switch to Urshifu. If they attack, I should be able to always get this Terra Scorching Sand off into the Raging Bolt, and I'm hoping with Solar Power it's enough damage to KO. If they protect Raging Bolt and attack with the Ogerpon, it's still a winnable game, but it's like really, really bad. Okay, wait, they gave me the offense. Okay, Scorching Sand, huge. They didn't Thunderclap. That's a bit weaker than I was hoping. I do get a burn, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Ivy Cudgel. Wait, I just realized the Ogerpon was slower. Wasn't the Ogerpon faster? I thought the Ogerpon was jolly on this team. That worked out. Not how I expected it to, but it worked out. Game is still not technically over. I'm going to Torkoal. I need Heat Wave damage anyway to put the Ogerpon in range of Wicked Blow. Gonna go for Heat Wave. Raging Bolt might... I don't know. It has to... I feel like it Thunderclaps the last ditch effort. I don't have Sucker Punch. They should know I'm Scarf by me U-turning a Sheehan Power early in the game. We bring out Torkoal. There's definitely winnable games. They have to read like what I'm switching or not. I feel like the switch is obvious though, because it saves my Charizard from the Ivy Cudgel. They do protect. Yes, smart protect. Okay. Comes down, can Ogerpon pick up a knockout, I think. Let's see, Heat Wave. That's really good damage in Ogerpon, actually. Ivy Cudgel. Do we live this plus solar power? I guess it's adamant. Can I win? I don't have Sucker Punch. Wait, no, do I? No, I have Iron Head. Yeah, I don't think. I do not think I can win. We Heat Wave. Oh, why I did so much was because I got rid of special defense boost from earlier. Yeah, that makes sense. I wasn't really counting that towards the end of the game plan. It just like was my best move. How many turns is Sun are left? 3? No, 4. Okay. I have to hope they don't Thunderclap. A Thunderclap, yeah. Okay, if Toro can survive this Ivy Cudgel, but I'm pretty sure Charizard just couldn't live at the range it is. I don't believe we can. Ivy Cudgel. Like, we have a berry, but even then, I don't think the berry's healing us enough. Yeah. This matchup's tough. I don't know if this is winnable. I think, like, I needed either a little bit more RNG or maybe there was some way. Maybe I needed to keep the Sheehan Power around so I could Wicked Blow earlier. Maybe I should just close combat it immediately into the Entei instead of wasting the Helping Hand attack. It's just tough because a lot of priority does affect it. And the only way I could, like, Friday Night Extreme Speed knocks out the Charizard. The fact that Charizard just went down to Ivy Cudgel. I felt like I'd live one Ivy Cudgel plus... I think I would live one Ivy Cudgel. I think Solar Power, not likely. I was really just hoping for a really bulky Ogerpon at that point with like no attack investment. I think that one did, and it just was able to OHKO. So yeah, not being able to knock out the Raging Bolt with just a Terra Ground, the Solar Power boost, unfortunately, because there's just like Life Orb, Stab, and Charizard doesn't have the best special attack unless it's yeah, because the power really is based off the Sun Power, Solar Power, and Fire type attacks being boosted in the Sun. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, not a bad start as we traded Tailwinds, but Charizard was in a good spot as it was in a position to click a Sun boosted Heat Wave to do massive damage alongside my opponent going for the Terra early with their Tornadus, so I could survive the Sludge Bomb under the Beads of Ruin from Landers since it couldn't go for the Terra Poison, getting massive damage onto their side. In game 2, Regigigas was a strange Pokemon to fight against, but was able to get a lot of damage across the board early, and then saving the Terra Fairy on Raging Bolt helped in the end game. In game 3, some crazy RNG left and right. A few plays that might have needed to be reevaluated are not going for the Tailwind turn 1 instead of Icy Wind, and the risk of losing Charizard to the Thunderclap even though I was playing on an Instinct. Otherwise, it's pretty hard to judge this battle just because of how much RNG there really was. In game 4, this matchup was extremely difficult, but I maneuvered most of the turns well. I probably needed just a bit more damage into the Raging Bolt with an Earth Power or at least a Heat Wave instead of Clear Smog. The reason I went for Clear Smog was to discourage my opponent from going for Follow Me, but I think Heat Wave or Earth Power damage was more crucial since I did end up missing the knockout. Charizard, this Pokemon, after how powerful it was in the Gigantamax and after the Mega Evolution, it is something really nice to see that it's not as powerful as it was back then because it is a really strong mod. And I think Covert Cloak was cool being able to be immune to the Icy Winds and the Fake Outs. I think with more power it would have been really interesting to see because Charizard with the Sun was able to do a lot of damage, but sometimes it would miss the knockouts like we did see on the Raging Bolt. However, team was really cool. If you do want to try it out, the rental code is on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time this video is out. But otherwise, you can check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.